y'all, man? What's going on? This is your man, Celine Collins. This is Truly Helpful, the podcast. Today, I have a very special guest with me today, man. My brother, Mr. Raphael.
Yes, sir.
Oduok.
Yes, sir.
What's up, brother?
What's up, bro? How you living,
man?
man? You
I'm
straight?
good, man. I'm hanging in there, man. I'm all right, bro.
Hey, man. It's a pleasure and honor to be on here.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Look,
Yes, sir.
definitely my first time using that mic, because normally it's just me talking to the people. So,
Okay.
hey, yeah, man, you my first guest.
First guest, too?
Yes, sir.
Come on now. Y'all know I'm not new to this.
So anybody for sure, I was about to say, some of the people that actually follow me on Instagram,
Yeah.
they seen you before
Yeah.
with our cool talks that was spread all over the internet
Yeah.
when I was doing the 30-day challenge,
Yes.
the
Yes,
road
sir.
to the podcast. So now I actually got you on this joint, and it's super dope.
Yes, sir.
For sure, man. I'm so glad you're here, brother.
Hey, man. I'm honored to be here, man. We have an exciting topic.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get into it, man.
Absolutely, man. So look, we're gonna jump right into it. So
Yes, sir.
mainly, this is the main thing I got. So a lot of people struggle with their transition of actually being more serious within their faith,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And I know that you actually, from past previous, you've always been like a stand-up guy. Let's just keep it real. You always been a stand-up
If
guy.
you say so.
I think so. I think so. I think I've always been a stand-up guy or whatnot, but I
Say so.
know
Yeah.
something I've noticed is you're taking your faith to the next level,
Mm.
and very commendable, by the way.
Yeah.
And you're doing a great job. My thing that I do like this part of you too, that you are still someone that anybody can talk to,
Yeah.
right? So you're not like overly
Thanks, bro.
churchy.
Yeah. You don't want weird people, man. Weird church people. We all know how that is. Man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man, you're very easy to talk to, and you just talk about your experiences with God and Jesus and all that type of thing.
Yeah.
And you don't make anybody feel, I guess, bad if they necessarily are not have the strongest faith like how you do or whatnot. You just try to, let them know the pros and the cons. So, like, let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
How did you even get to this point where you are now within your faith?
Woo.
And what is your faith? Sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I am a follower, servant of Jesus Christ,
Okay.
my Lord and Savior.
Absolutely.
So that's a I don't even know where to start on that.
Right.
One.
That could be a lot.
Yeah. I don't know where to even start on that, bro. But I think for me, it's a lot. It was a lot. It is. I'm saying because it's present tense. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of self work. It's a lot of humility.
Yeah.
It's a lot of intentionality. It's a lot of being committed. So I think for me, I've always grown up in church. I've always had church friends. Mm-hmm. I used to be Sunday school. That was my joint, man.
You one of the kids.
6-7-year-old man. Hey.
Yo.
I grew up Pentecostal too. So if y'all know anything about Pentecostal, we was crazy. We lay hands on people, Holy Spirit, all that type of stuff. We in church until like 4 or 5 p.m. We got
Are
the
you
hall.
serious?
Yeah,
I did not know that, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Dang.
I'm exaggerating. It's not 4 or 5 p.m. We probably know like.
But
it was a good amount of time.
Yeah. That's crazy. Dang, I did not know that.
Yeah. So, and I'll just kind of give a quick summary of my walk and my faith. So, growing up Pentecostal, always knowing that who God was and having a love for God at an early age, and then obviously going through life. I mean, going through high school, really active in sports, going through college where it's really hard. It's not impossible. For me, it was really hard to kind of express my faith and kind of like show my commitment to God because of all the distractions and personally it's because of things that I wanted to do to be liked by other people, right? And I think we fall into that. So I think for me, if I had to just sum it down to like what kind of like got the ball rolling, at least it was the point of me making a commitment. Hey, I'm not trying to be lukewarm. If anything, man, I think people respect genuine people. Yeah. Right? And
that's why I respect you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
I respect you too, my guy.
I appreciate that.
But I think people respect, you gotta be either rather have somebody that I know is shady, and I know that fully, 100%. Like, that's you? Yo, I can actually respect that a little bit more than if you kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to get with this person today or tomorrow, right? And then I think with me, I had a personal conviction because I think a lot of like my friends growing up or in college were like, I felt like I was doing the same type of things they was doing, like getting into the same type of trouble and same type of mess they was doing. But they could still maybe, I guess, from the grace of God, see something in me and be like, oh, Raph, like, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, I know.
they kind of convicted me. I'm just like, dang.
Hey, right.
Like, I don't want to live like this lukewarm life no more. Like, if this is what I know, if I know what is right, I think a lot of times even disobedience is knowing what's right and not doing it. And so for me, I had that personal conviction, like, hey, God, like, I'm saying that you're my Lord and Savior. Let me actually be 100%. So I think the first part is making that commitment to yourself, faith, anything, right? That like you're gonna do this thing 100%. I know you talked about it earlier, your earlier podcast about consistency. Right?
Absolutely.
So yes, sir.
Man, nah, that's super dope, bro.
Yes,
I did not know. So you went from like basically like an extreme belief, with your first religion, right?
Yeah.
And then now that you're a Christian, I know that's super extreme as well, right? But it's just tailored in a different fashion.
I think I grew up with religion, but now I can say I'm in relationship with Christ.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so like it's not that, and nothing against Pentecostal people. I learned a lot growing up Pentecostal. I learned the things of God, but I think it was through my own personal journey that God really became real for me. And then at my lowest moments, it caused me to be like, hey, no matter what, wherever I'm at, like, he was still always chasing me. And I was like, all right, I owe it to him out of the goodness of everything he's done for me, everything he's done for my family, right, to actually fully go after him.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's super dope, bro, for sure. So like now, so I know you're in Maryland, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Maryland, I'm in Baltimore, DMV.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I had the pleasure this morning, because it's Sunday, I had the
Yes,
pleasure of actually tapping into Union Church.
Yeah, Union Church, you see that?
Yeah, Union. All right, shout out to Union. That's in Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we everywhere.
Y'all, actually, I saw it today.
Yes, sir.
Y'all coming to Charlotte?
Yes, sir. Union Charlotte.
That's
Union
lit.
Charlotte, led by Pastor Stephen, Pastor Zai are the lead pastors of Union Church, but Pastor Brian and his wife are actually going to be launching a campus here January 2023. Get ready, Charlotte. We coming, baby. I'm about to be out here more.
I was about to say, are you coming?
Hey, you
might as well just come at this point.
I gotta talk to my pastor. I don't know. You don't allow that. I'm gonna try.
Bro, now that's super dope. So I had the pleasure, of tapping into your service. Yeah. And the same thing is, and I strongly believe this. The congregation will definitely follow its leader. Right? So looking at you, I've known you before, well, not before your walk with God, but when you took this next serious step, right?
Yeah.
And joining Union, right?
Yeah.
And looking at you guys' pastor today, and how relatable he was within his message and stuff like that, very key, right? Because one thing that I hate, because my father was a pastor, so it's not like you're talking to somebody that doesn't know what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know exactly how some old school church people can be. Yeah. All right. And a lot of people, we all know, right? You know somebody that's like that. Every time you see him trying to head the other way because they kind of like trying to push the Bible down your throat, and it's like, yo, just be cool, be calm, right? Because I honestly feel you actually will bring people closer to God, right? When it's just a conversation, and not a lecture. Yeah. Every single time you talk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now there are moments where there's time for teaching and different things of that nature, but every single time it'd be like, extremists. Yeah. You're going to hell because you're not in church today. Yeah. It's like, bro, what? Yeah. And then you actually turn people off doing that. Yeah. So that's why I appreciate everything that y'all doing over there at y'all church, because it's not like y'all try to like guilt trip people into like going to church. You just like, hey, look, this was work for me.
Yeah.
This is my life beforehand. This is my life after.
Right.
Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. And look, and here's some information just in case.
Yeah.
I'm open.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And that's why you actually been helping me get closer, or back in line. Yeah. To my beliefs. Yeah. And different things of that nature and stuff like that. And I'm still working my own course out, but I'm telling you right now, you definitely make it a lot easier for me and my family, based off of just how relatable you are and just open and honest. Yeah. About your shortcomings, and just how you've changed and being a better person as well. Yeah. So that's super dope. I'm glad you coming to Charlotte. That's gonna be fire. Sure. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out for sure. For sure. But most definitely. And then, so what do you believe in that statement that you said though? Like, you feel like sometimes if somebody's trying to push church on somebody, then it kind of can like make them kind of fall back.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's you just mentioned it earlier. Mm-hmm. It's about being relatable. Yeah. Right. And
you're still a person.
You're still a person, right? I don't know how I want to word this, but like, I think, like you said, like some of that comes down to like sharing your shortcomings, right? And so, what helps me to see relatable about my pastors or my other leaders is you can be, and we talked about this earlier, be authentic with everyone, be your real self, but you be transparent with a few people as well, right? Actually, hey, like, I'm missing the mark in this area of my life. I'm missing the mark in this area of my life. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Yeah. I talked to you about my struggles too as well, and like things that I came across, and like I'm always wary of the Christians that push this narrative down people's throats as far as like they're better than other people. Yeah. That's really dangerous and that's not biblical. Right. And so really trying to understand what it actually truly means to be, I use the word holy, right? Holier than holy doesn't mean better, and I think a lot of Christians actually get this term mixed up. Yeah, true. Right? Holy just means different, means set apart, right? And so even in that set apart, if you look at like God is the most holy being we have. But one thing about God, even in his perfect holiness, is he is in a holiness. He's different. He's set apart. But he's always inviting other people or wanting to invite other people into his world. Right? Okay, gotcha. And so how do you get to a point where you can be about your business, you can be going on the path that you want to go on, but not alienate other people? It's a lot of things, right? It's a lot of things for one, but I think it starts with that humility of being able to share your shortcomings, being able to be reminded about these things of like, man, God, if it was not for you dying on the cross, saving my sins, every day, man, I wake up and I need Jesus. Like, let's be honest.
Keep
like,
it real, bro.
Life be life. I be praising, somebody cut me off, I'm like, Lord, y'all, listen, God's still working on me.
Hey, bro. Oh, yeah, you can work on me.
But now I think some people, like, it's hard for other, like, I always talk about, like, man, I just want to get as many people as possible to be invited into my world. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to slow down what you're doing. Right. But it does start with that level of humility and that transparency. Who are you being real with? Yeah. Right. Who are you talking to? You can be giving, right? You can be sharing information too as well. But who's pouring into you? Right. And so I always find like the people that are like pouring down, they're not listening to nobody. They're not talking to nobody. It's just they want to do a one-way conversation, right? They're not hearing the heart of people and they're struggling and stuff like that, relating to people, because like it's real stuff that people are going through day in, day out. There's real trauma. There's real hurt. We live in a broken world. There's real stuff that makes it hard for people. That the enemy makes it hard for people to grow in their faith in that way, and it's kind of, it's kind of of careless to ignore that.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think. I mean, in our day and age too. When we were younger, it was very easy. Yeah. Cause I'm from the South, okay. Right? So this is country nothing boy. But you feel me? So this is nothing but church. Yeah. This is what it is. There's more churches than McDonald's down here. You know what I'm saying? That should be real, right?
Hey, they got a cookout here, man.
Hey, you crazy? He went to cookout, y'all. He loved it, by the way. Wow. Got the cookout train.
Praise God.
Hold on, y'all gonna have to pay for that. But most of it, now, what I'm saying is like everybody down here is church, right? And back in the day, it was a lot easier to actually be comfortable with your faith because it was at one point in my life where if you say you didn't go to church, everybody looked at you like, what? Yeah. You ain't go to church? Yeah. Now it's kind of funny because now pandemic, everything of that nature, a lot of people are either not actually going into church, like the actual building, or they're just doing it online. And most of them, after a while, they just kind of don't do it at all. Yeah. So like, and I think even with social media, when it first came about, Instagram, stuff like that, I used to see clippings of like church and like different speakers and stuff like that. Now, I don't see that like ever. Yeah. Maybe it's the people I'm following. I mean, I think it may be that too.
That might be a message right there.
That might be a message, bro.
I'm following that.
We gotta talk. Nah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it seemed like back in the day it was more I wouldn't say accepted, but kind of accepted. That doesn't sound crazy. But kind of accepted. I mean, we kind of accept a lot more other things, and then like church is kind of like, or your faith. Let me stop saying church. Yeah. Your faith and religion is kind of like in the background. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, man.
Whew. Or do you think that's accurate of what I'm saying?
Man, I think every single day, right, as we continue to live in this in life, just doing life in general, like you get I don't want to say maybe distracted. We grow up, right? We're not when we're in high school or whatever, like our life isn't as simple as we think it is. We got maybe school, we got family. Shout out to my boy here, about to be already a dad right now, about to be a father too. Loading
and his rap.
Yes, sir.
2 under 2. I'm good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
God, I hope you heard that. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, man. I was just saying, like, I think, like, man, it's easy to do something when it's cool. Yeah, absolutely. When it's culture, and everything has a season, right? Like, there's still it depends on whatever part of the country that you might be in. Maybe in another part of the country, like I know, like like there's still people that like they feel like they check the box on their faith when they post like their Bible verse of the day, right? Or they post like the thing, and that's still culture, and so it's easy to do that, right? And it's easy to think like that is now associated with actually like your relationship with God and the relationship with just getting to know Him on a personal level. But I think what's really hard is like what happens when you start losing friends because of your faith. Right?
Oh, matter of fact, what you said right there, I want to pause. This is definitely part 1. I want to elaborate that on part 2, y'all. So tap back in on part 2. Man.
Yes,
we're gonna elaborate on that one time, man.
Yes,
sir. Really help for the podcast.
Yes, sir.